The judge in the Bill Cosby trial has released of the tonight. At least one of those jurors is being quoted as saying there were two holdouts in the jury room. Good evening, everyone. The judge announced his decision to identify the jurors despite opposition from both the prosecution and defense.
And they are worried that jurors' stories could potentially taint the next pool of jurors called to retry that case. David Highfield is here with the very latest on this. David.
Susan and Ken, tonight ABC News reports that one juror spoke to them on the condition that their identity not be revealed. According to ABC, that juror says 10 of the 12 jurors agreed Cosby was guilty on 2 counts. The juror told ABC those 2 holdouts were, quote, not moving no matter what. And none of the jurors I reached tonight would talk at all. One family member mentioned the possibility of repercussions. Another asked whether the media pays for interviews. KDKA does not. And while the judge released the names, he gave jurors very specific instructions not to discuss deliberations. This sign posted at the front door was how one of the jurors in the Bill Cosby mistrial let reporters know he's not interested in talking about the experience. The judge in the case released the names of the jurors who arrived back in Allegheny County Saturday night.
He wanted to protect the rights of Mr. Cosby, but at the same juncture still give freedom of the press by the media interveners to have the names.
Prominent local defense attorney Phil DeLucente believes the judge had to release the names. And in fact, the judge wrote he had little choice because of a previous state Supreme Court ruling. However, he ordered jurors not to reveal anything said or done in the jury room, fearing it could affect future jurors when the case is retried. But DeLucente says he has no concerns about jurors being interviewed affecting Cosby getting a fair trial in the future.
None whatsoever. I believe that those jurors should be able to speak. They should be able to speak their mind. They should not have their freedom of speech suppressed in any way, shape, or form.
And while the jurors have been instructed not to discuss deliberations, he says lawyers on both sides would want to know privately what happened.
Typically, you want to understand out of those 12 jury questions that were submitted to the judge, what was the hang-up? What was the primary issue of why they couldn't have a consensus and be unanimous in their verdict?
Now, the judge did not bar jurors from speaking about their own opinions, but again, he said not to discuss deliberations. And DeLucente believes it's possible that a juror who talks about them could be held in contempt. Of course, the juror who told ABC there were 2 holdouts to reaching a guilty verdict spoke on the condition that he or she would not be identified.